How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the start of a new season. For those of you who don't know, this is the Commish show. I'm Bryan. I'm the host. This is Alton. As everyone who used to watch this used to know, co-host Alton. Everyone who used to watch knows I used to always do this with Sean, and then Andrew was the producer. Now we got Shady Mike back there. Shout out to him. Sean, he's going to phone in probably next week or the week after. He'll be back, so we're not worried about him. But we're going to start with the Week 1 recap, and after that we're going to go to our segment called Bold Statements, where we have our bold statements about the upcoming season. We each have one. Not taking shots at anyone, but a little bit. No harm meant.
Oh, I'm taking shots. Straight shots. I'm a straight shooter.
So we get into our first game. We're going to look at Tim Barry, my couch pulls out, but I don't, against my ex-co-host, Sean, Pickle Rick. Tuna, what do you think about this one?
I wasn't really impressed by Tim Barry's squad. I know he had a couple points left on the bench, but as you can see here, he had he had some good bench play. I think maybe too much time in Vegas. He didn't maybe set the lineup. Maybe he forgot. But other than that, I think it's okay. I think he'll bounce back.
It had to be something. He had low points of the week, Tim Barry. He was missing Odell. He was missing his first-round pick. And C.J. Anderson, his third-round pick, really didn't do much. He had a bad game. But hopefully he picks it up. But Sean had a great week. You got to give it to him.
110, not bad, respectable. Definitely respectable. Even with Des Bryant really not putting up too much. And the Raiders D, just squeaking out a point there. But overall, looks pretty solid coming from Sean.
The two rookie running backs for Sean, Fournette and Dalvin Cook, they had great games. They both had at least 15. So you can never complain about that, Sean. Next, we'll move on to the Fear Boners, RJ, against his co-worker, the Mick, which is Mike, who was auto-drafted. And the auto-draft team lost. No really surprise there. But RJ, he lost David Johnson. That's going to be a big injury. And he also lost Allen Robinson, so that hurts him.
Yes, he did. He had two big losses. And also, I heard Golden Tate has a finger injury. We don't know what's going on with that until further in the week.
So RJ's definitely going to have to do some moves on the waiver wire. And the auto-draft team, it pretty much did what we thought it would do when we were drafting.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, it's about an average team. It didn't nothing special, but nothing too bad as well.
He had 3 players with double-digit points and no one
Probably more than what I had.
Hey, no one over 13. That's never good. We move on to our next game. High points Frank this week, Connor and the Cons. And he played Team Mannion, who hasn't picked a name. Mannion, step that up. I know you were in Vegas, but still, you got to be better than that. And Frank with a crushing win.
Yeah, he had, as you can see, 3 players with over 20 points there. One of them from the quarterback. You expect that some weeks, absolutely. But, some big players there for him.
And his tight end had 0 points, which is pretty crazy to have someone get a goose egg and still have high points. And if you look, his bench, he has 4 players that are either on Miami or Tampa Bay that had to miss because of the hurricane,
yeah,
which is pretty
That's
crazy.
A pretty good week considering.
Yeah, definitely. And then you take a look at Mannion's team. Nothing stands out too crazy. Jordy Nelson got 20. Other than that, very average.
You expect Jordy Nelson to get his receptions in and score 1 or 2 TDs a game.
Definitely, yeah. But good game by him. Mannion does that every week. I think he'll definitely win some games. 96 isn't bad. Move on to the next one. We have Armand, which is Gronk Fox, against the Expendables, Rick. And this is the only game where both teams were under 100. And it wasn't great. Their defenses combined for -4 points. That's never good. And it was just very low scoring, very mediocre game by both teams.
Yeah, there's nothing really special there. I could see definitely Armand making some changes, playing some bench players that he didn't play last week, and hopefully looking for that win again next week. Maybe some higher points because he's going against a little bit better competition next week.
Yeah, definitely. And big game from Amari Cooper for Armand, but other than that, he had no one over 13 or 14. Same with Rick. He had Melvin Gordon with 18.9. Other than that, he had no one over 13, so not great. Move on to the next one. We Be Steady Cobbin Logan, the rookie, against our reigning champion Andrew Tobias in Mariota Kart. And this was a pretty high-scoring game, 112 to 120.2. What do you think?
Pretty even. I think both defenses really played pretty well. I mean, the Rams D with 29 points, you can never complain about that. Even the Panthers with 14. I mean, anytime you start off your D with 10 points, you hope to finish around 10 points there. And both defenses, and then the bench players, I mean, both teams look like they have some high-quality players there to maybe make some moves on the waiver wire and the trades and maybe get improve both of their teams.
Well, we all know Logan's looking for some trades out there.
Logan,
so anyone looking for a bad trade or any trade at all, just send Logan one. You never know what's going to happen.
Logan's the trade king.
Well, you know what? He won, and he backed it up. A lot of people were making fun of him at the draft, but he won.
No, I was making complete fun of him at the draft, and I think it's a fluke. I think he's gonna end up pretty bad this season.
All right, we'll see what happens. Logan, step it up, dude. You're getting called out. Next, we move to the Commish Show co-host match. Me against you. You had a decent showing, 92.3, but second highest points, I had 128.4.
Yeah, I wasn't too pleased about my last minute change there on Thursday night. Switched out Gillisley for Duke Johnson Jr. and Gillisley wound up getting 22.5, and Duke Johnson, as you can see, got 4.
22 or 18-point swing there.
Yeah, it was a big one that kind of hurt, and then also should have played the double tight end set. I think Zach Ertz is definitely going to be the flex player as long with. As well as Kelsey there, so I'm going to play the double tight ends next week.
There you go, interesting play. I only had 2 players. I had 3 players double digit. I had 3 players with more than 10 points. Kareem Hunt had a huge day, but I mean,
fucking that's a fluke.
I mean, I can't expect to win with getting 3 players more than 10 points. That's just ugly. So hopefully my team shows up a little more. I did have some young players on the bench, Corey Coleman, Corey Davis. They showed up. They were I was uncertain about them. They pulled it together. I was very happy with it.
Yeah, I think maybe next week when maybe if Hunt, I think he's going to level out around the 20-point game. He looked like he was a pretty solid player. So I think next week, if the other guys, come back, I think you should be easily around the 110 mark every week.
I won't complain about that. And I put in Austin Hooper. He had 2 catches, 128 yards, and a touchdown. I was so high on Jesse James in the draft. I drafted him. I dropped him for a kicker. And my tight end, O.J. Howard, they didn't play. And then I didn't play Jesse James. He had 2 touchdowns. So
can't complain about Hooper with 2 catches for that many yards.
Yeah, I mean, it saved me. It really did. So we'll move on to our next segment, bold statements for the upcoming year. Tuna, what do you think is going to happen?
My bold statement is I think Rick's team may have no wins. And I'm pretty sure that he's going to come in last place. I mean, I just want to look. I know he, during the draft he kind of dozed off at the end, and I think that he's going to come in last place. So Rick, I think you got to step it up and prove me wrong. But possibly no wins, the whole season. We're talking about a goose egg throughout the season.
If you look at his last 4 picks, they combined for 1 point. And that was the Jets' defense.
Yes, that's...
I mean, he drafted someone who retired, which I don't even know what to say about that. That's pretty bad.
But didn't he get picked up?
Not that I know of. He retired from Buffalo. I don't know. We'll look into it further for you, Rick, but whatever. Who knows? My bold statement is our defending champion, Andrew. I think he's going to miss the playoffs.
Really?
4 teams are going to miss the playoffs at the end of the season. I think it's going to be Andrew. So
4 teams. We're bringing in 8 teams to the playoff.
We're going 8 to the playoff. No buys. Come on.
So that's good news for other players, and that's bold statements for.
Yeah. Andrew, step it up, dude. Man. Come on. All right, guys.
Reigning league champ.
Yeah.
No playoffs this year.
All right. You know what? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.